Oh, there's people up there. Who are these people? Blink. It's Lox the Usurper. You see a small group of people gather around the ruins of a house. The destruction continues out from the single dwelling through the entire village. Not a single building still stands. Rubble is scattered everywhere. One of the men in the group leans over something in the debris. It is this man, younger, barely more than a boy. The man reaches out and shakes the boy by the shoulder. The boy makes no sound and doesn't respond to the man's disturbance. The man looks up at the other members of the group and shrugs, standing to rejoin his friends. The boy suddenly sits up, eyes wide. He scrabbles backwards away from the group, looking around in horror. The group moves towards him in unison, eliciting a yelp from the boy who tries to move further away. The woman in the group puts out her hand, stopping the rest. She turns to them reproachfully, motions for them to stay, then looks at the boy on the ground who is trying to push himself through what remains of wall. He seems unaware he's even stopped. The woman slowly moves towards the boy, hands out, speaking in a low, calming tone. For a time, the boy doesn't even hear. He just closes his eyes and braces himself against the wall, expecting violence. Eventually, the woman's words work through the fear, and he hears her. He opens his tear-filled eyes, stares at her. She holds out a hand to him. He looks at it, seeming confused by the offer. Hesitantly reaches out. She takes his hand in hers and leans down to help him stand. It's Lox the Usurper. A lone man standing in a field. He looks around, surveying the crops. Occasionally, he bends to examine a leaf up close. He's intent on what he is doing, completely absorbed in his work. This man approaches him from behind. He moves slowly, but does nothing to mask his approach. In his hand, he holds a large sword. There appears to be no malice or hatred in the man's demeanor. He almost seems pleased. The first man hears his approach and stands, turning away from the plant he was inspecting. His face breaks into a smile, and he opens his arms to welcome the approaching man. The smile freezes into a grimace as the second man thrusts his sword through his stomach, the blade now protruding from his back. His arms slowly fall to his side, and blood starts to drip from the sword onto the plants below the men. As the first man crumples to his knees, the second pulls the sword out, tears slowly falling down the cheek of his still smiling face. He seems lovely. Cat. Dear wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she is clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Well met, friend.
Finally, I was starting to think, oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting someone else. Can I help you? Nice cat. Oh, thank you. She's a sweetheart. Keeps the house clear of mice, too. I just arrived in Gilded Vale. I thought I'd get to know the locals. Are you with one of the caravans? Master Odima's by chance? You knew Odima. Well, no more than most here, I'd say. He doesn't usually come this way, but they say he's a reliable old fellow. Why? Wait, why did you say new? Sorry, the caravan was attacked. I was the only one to survive. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Caliska was always so certain she could take on any danger. Oh, that's her sister. I believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. She mentioned that she thought you needed help. Perhaps I could provide assistance? I don't know if I could impose this on you. It's not a small favor. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Caliska as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It happened to so many mothers, and Lord Radric, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor. My Thort gone. Not sure how to pronounce that. I don't know how I'd manage it if I lost my home too. I hope she could help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child being hollowborn, but she moved south to Unslog's Compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. Can't make it as I am, but I don't have anyone else now. Caliska gone. Can you help me? Kind Wayfarers and Goldpeck Knights. I guess those are groups I'm not a part of. I'll find her. The lagoon to the south. You have to cross the wilds to get there. It's what keeps me from trying it myself. Cool. Another quest. Aloft. 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. First figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood. His height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
What's going on? Mocking us even as he shelters in our village just goes to show you what these fancy Adira manners are worth. We don't take kindly to that kind of treatment, not from foreigners, especially not from Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Now they're all drunk.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cock's feather!
Well, his voice just changed.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Okay.
That's where you're wrong.
Do you hear Matthew Mercer? I'm sure he's around. We've already found Sam Riegel. This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here arguing? You don't want your charity either, foreigner. He's likely been around a couple times. Yeah, I think Adair, Eater, or whatever his name is, I think that was Matt. Sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. There is Matt. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was one of the guys in the first group I was with. That would have had to been probably... Well, there's only 2 people that talked in that first group, and that would have been the leader. I know Sam was the that first merchant who joined us as a rogue until he died. Oh, great. Gained reputation.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors.
Yeah, that's
Thank
Matt.
you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You're welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
Notes the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. The boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
Traveling a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Ewick.
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
What are you doing here?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. but I take it that's a familiar tale.
Yeah. I've been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. And how'd you manage to cross those 3 drugs?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. That. I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints and the accent doesn't help. I heard the same thing. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places. As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it...
So do I. Let's go.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Yay. Okay. Let's see what we got. Aloth's leather armor. Properties overseeing. I don't really know what that's supposed to be. That. What does that mean? Oh, what's he got? He's got a scepter. Goes away. And some ale. Why not? He's got a rapier. Zerowood Part 2, we'll wait on reading that one because I need to get Part 1. Oh, we actually have 2 people now, though. That worked. Floorboards are sticky with spills that no one has bothered to clean. Rice and grain. There's Swainer. I do want to talk to him, but first, the Eurasian calendar. Strom Brightblade. That's amazing. I finished reading my new Dragonlance book today, by the way, which does have Sturm Brightblade as the character. Selena Vertiva. Who that's supposed to be. See a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack, one item after the other, careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. Shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can in the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offered his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to anyone who will listen. Anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island. Tries not to jump. You see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing as he does it, and he lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walks towards the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. Noise comes to the tree line near their practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow and lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosening the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost among the trees. There's sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts in the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. He stopped talking, seeing him holding the bow and leading the deer with a knocked arrow. He dropped to the ground, and as he looses this last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing heart and lungs and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds and then slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. What's this story you told again? The tall fellow and the wee lass? I mean the Armana captain and the Orling cabin boy? No, wait, hold on, tell us that one first. Roaches scatter and flee under the crates. And guessed? "10 years of dawn."
I'll see what I can do.
I can get it to spill its secrets.
Apparently not.
Oh?
Black hound. Bones are covered in tiny bite marks. The hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. He looks up as you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Let's say the owner up and left and is probably waiting for the owner. Nighttime now. Sila Ammon, Chain Shakes Molrian, Eslok Agita, Sila Ammon. There's a lot of these. I see a long empty road cutting through two large crop fields. The air is silent and the land seems too still for early afternoon. This woman walks slowly on the road, leading a horse, curiously looking around. She seems to sense something wrong, but is unable to discern what it is. She stops, sniffing at the air, her nose high. Her brow crinkles and she casts about, looking for something. The air is clear, no clouds. She sniffs again, still looking around, confusion clouding her face, mouthing a single word. Fire. She looks out across the fields, her confusion turning to fear. She holds her hand up to block the sun from her eyes and scans the fields again. Not finding what she was looking for, she jumps onto her horse's back, fear quickly becoming panic. She kicks, sending the horse shooting down the path, bends around some trees to where the farmhouse should be. She pulls up short, horror now in residence on her face as she stares at the burned and charred mess that used to be her family's home. Tears well in her eyes as she kicks again, racing to the rubble. Jane shakes Maury. See an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a scroll and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him, expressionless, corpse waiting for animation. The man clucks at him, disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols to glow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally, the glow disappears, leaving only hard black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, which is growing. Convulsive shakes. Shakes. Deathlock, Najatep, Najatep. See a man soar through the air, hitting a nearby wall with a nauseating crutch. He doesn't get up. His attacker, a burly, clean-cut warrior with a carnivorous grin, turns and shoves his fist into the stomach of another assailant, removing another from the impromptu brawl. The bar is a whirlwind of elbows, knees, fists, and feet. No end in sight. He is in his element. In the corner, 3 smaller men speak quietly, throwing malicious glances at the larger man in the center. He breaks a chair over a tattooed head, cackling. The trio position themselves in 3 parts of the room. Curse nod, they charge. Unfortunately for them, the man sees them coming. Something in his eyes burns brightly, and all 3 slump to the ground in an agony that's all in their minds. The burly man bows to a room of the unconscious and incapacitated before sauntering out, off-key whistle trailing behind him. Okay. Yearwood Part 1. Good. Crammed behind the books is a drawing that shows Yothas and Lord Raedric in a compromising position.
I shall make it so.
Zillow.
It's done.
Duelist set. So much stuff. Where do I find... That's neat. Nope. Where does it tell me my reputation? That I can't recall. Okay, well, either way. So I need to talk to that guy. Henfrith. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I've decided you earn the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. Savory pie to keep you hale and hearty, yet serve you well in your travels. Okay. I'll name a dish in your honor. So I know how to make some kind of pie. Yes? Ooh, look at that. Which pie is it? Probably this one? Here, I have beer. Yeah, here, right there. My hat. Instead of a hood. That's cool. Love it. All right, let's figure this one out.
Well met, friend.
Don't know who you are and don't much care. Keep walking. Not here to chat with foreigners. Here, looks like they're cut from the same cloth as those rowdies who attacked. Smells like it, too. Saw you outside the mill. What was that about? Someone fancies themselves a meddler, huh? What's that about? It's about Trumbull thinking he's king of the town on account of he's got the mill to his name. About him barely giving us anything for the wheat we bring him and then cutting our purses when we need to buy grain. It's about farmers going hungry while some bastard gets rich off their crops. That's what it's fucking about. Now shove off. What you doing in here then? What's it look like? Drinking till I forget how much I want to put a pitchfork through Trumbull's face. What if I buy you all around? Will you talk to me then? Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and might be I'll feel up to trading words.
Hail, traveler.
All right. Discounts on drinks, rooms. 10th said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already been back to work in the kitchen. Could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Gonna hire someone on. I'll be happy to send them your way. Nice. Let me see what what I have to work with. Level 1 adventure. Oh, so it's just a basic person. Okay. Now, I'd rather find someone, but gotta level up. So that's cool. Go athletics. I'm gonna do a survival. Mechanics. Next. Class unlocked. Autumn's Decay. Blizzard. Burst of Summer Flame. Conjure Lesser Blight. Firebrand. Oh, Flameblade. Old Beasts. That could be useful. Insect Swarm. Oh, I love Insect Swarm. Taste of the Hunt. Wood Skin. Ooh, Bark Skin. That's good too. All right, what do we got here? Huh. Get into mechanics. And give him a survival. Okay, new spells. Let's see, combusting wounds. Corrosive sphere or siphon. Acid damage, but gives the damage back, like as health to the caster. It is a special kind of spellcaster. It looks like Rolling Flame, Rebounding Ball of Fire. Product Lance. Ray of Fire. Sure. I think that's what we'll go with. Those two.
Let's keep you.
I want to know more about the Black Hound. Actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. We get a lot of new faces in here too. Fewer than we used to, I'll admit. And for it's a big draw, sure we'll get the big crowds back again in no time. Okay. Buy round for the fine fellows over there. Resolve 12. Please, if I can just get them talking, I might be able to convince them to stop harassing the miller. Well, that's all right, then. 3 drinks for the 3 fools. You get them off Trumble's back, and maybe he'll be a little less stingy with his supplies.
How do you do?
There you go. I never thought I'd be so happy for a mug of the Black Hound shit beer. All right, then, you got my attention. What is it you got to say that's worth a round of drinks? You can tell me more about what's going on? Miller's in charge of the grain prices. He says they're fair, but I know for a fact that fellows like Opera pay half what we do. Maybe we've been a bit rough with them, but what are we supposed to do? We can't keep paying. We're going to starve, and you think Trumbull's going to be sorry about it when we do? Look, no sense in threatening the miller. Have him up against a wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. You're right. Things go on like they are, then we're just going to end up hanging from that tree out there. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Nice. I don't know what we'll do now with the crops failing. Haven't got another trade to speak of. Think Pasca needs a hand around the inn? Sweet. Let's go talk to Trumbull. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Good day to you.
Spoke to him. Convinced him to leave your family in peace. And now, 50 copper. Yay. All right, on we go. Well, Liz, we'll see what we got over here.
Yes. Certainly.
Nice and quiet. Howdy do. I'll see what I can find.
Oh?
Ooh, what do we got? A will-o-wisp.
Oh?
Immune to disease, ground, hobbled, poison, prone, sickened, and stuck.
Curses!
He got hurt. This is not good. I should have saved. What? Barely injured. Yeah, this is great. Well, we can't go there yet. I need somebody who's an actual melee person. We could go try for the bear again. Let's go try for the bear again.
Nice and quiet.
Oh? Certainly.
Both of you.
Certainly.
Okay, so what I want to do here. I didn't pick the one I should have done. All right, he's held 33. Only a few seconds though. There goes that. I got it to injured at least.
Won't show him the wind feather yet!
Well, that was not fun.
Silence surrounds me.
All right, we'll try something different this time. How about you Sunbeam? You Product Lance.
Lavaru beyond sea.
Ah, Sunbeam missed. Damn it.
I shall be discreet.
Within.
Lavaru beyond seek.
Within.
Badly injured. Come on, you can do this. How about gonna let us minor missiles.
Lavaru beyond seek.
Near death. Come on. Damn. That was better. Come on. Hey. You almost had it.
I'll see what I can find.
Lavaru beyond seek.
Within. Rock.
Got him. We did it that time. Bear hide. A lot of stuff in here. Whatever that is. Cave coral. Mice crawl through eye sockets over femurs.
I shall be discreet.
Quarterstaff. Oh? Lost spirit. A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. Feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you have been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. Feel the sun at your back and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know nearby that you have come a long way from the field, hunting deer. Now you're standing before a cavern and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There's a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel and there's a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lance through with pain. Then, in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger dashed in crimson to match his cloak. There's a great dark shape above you, and there's more pain. The vision recedes, and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, and the specter lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, confusion, anger. Met him on the road, friend. Sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I'll find him and see that he answers for what he's done. For a moment, the spirit seems to burn bright. Head feels with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exultation, growing fainter and fainter until you're alone once more. All right. Seemed lost just now. Yes, I'm fine. Good to know, but I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about. I'm not really sure. Only recently started happening. You, at the risk of sounding patronizing, you should probably have that exempt. It's a shame that Lord Radric's hanged half of Gilded Vale. Alien dwarf might have known something about your condition. Yeah, do that, okay. Well, we killed a bear. That's good. Oh, I have the rope. I can climb this now. Use a grappling hook. Climb to the top. The armor. Let's see what we got here. Fulvano's gloves. Plus 2 decks. Though never as famed as he would claim, the Valian explorer Fulvano was known and eccentric, who wished to see the world. Where possible, he traveled by foot to gain a local's appreciation for the sights, sounds, and smells of the lands he passed through. In practice, however, Fulvano often claims that his explorations proved only that the world outside of the Valian republics was a foul, smelly place that paled in comparison to his homeland. These gloves are said to have belonged to Fulvano, who often found himself in need of some protection as he climbed harsh terrain or maneuvered through forests. While thick enough to provide some warmth, they are meant, first and foremost, to be flexible enough not to hinder delicate tasks. For me, oh, I could have done that. That would have been good. Camping. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffering anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of the Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air, she speaks a word. Vulture. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animate. But it fills you with new, queasy apprehension. You feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, only to confirm she is truly dead.
Oh?
All right, moving on. Now let's go confront these two.
Well met, friend.
I know what really happened in that bear cave, Nanton. I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. You're accusing him of something? This is about the accident. We're both grieving Pearlie's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing. I had a vision in the cave. I saw Pearlie's last moments as he lived them. I saw you cut him with a knife. It's not possible. How can you possibly know? I left no sign. Wait, I don't know what you saw in the cave, but this isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, who was much a beast as that bear, tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. Anton, we met, and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, who cared for me. All I want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. Some coin saved up. You could have it, if only let us go. Whatever your reasons, you caused a man's death. I'm taking this to the magistrate. I don't know what you think you'd tell the magistrate. A story about a dream you had? You won't take this from us. Not when we're so close. Not for that wretched Pearlie. He draws his blade. Oh, look at that. They're trying to fight. Me pretty bad though. Well, that was not a smart idea. How badly did I get him? Injured. Barely injured. I'm not going to be able to do that.
Hail and well met.
Get out of my sight. We'll just do it that way. Okay, so that means they're done. All right. But what am I supposed to be doing right now anyway? Find the dwarf woman, which would be in... The guy did say it was on the... she was on the tree. Right there. Caldara de Bronzi. Okay. Reach out for the woman. Okay.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it.
Okay.
I think it is a very good choice.
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no?
That's Laura Bailey.
Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
That's Laura Bailey. Need to understand something that's happened to me.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times.
Yeah, that's definitely Laura
Souls
Bailey.
pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
I think
You
I
should
survived.
see old Meerwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kanua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
I think I survived a Biawik. Know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now.
Did souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Okay. Tell me something about you. Who are you?
Me? And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
What happened to you?
Oh, come now, such a quick.
Okay.
Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance.
All right, what did she
humble
find? Healthy woman head to
Nothing at all.
toe.
A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the
And
house...
what's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. But the best
Okay.
of us, the best, inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins, miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating... Of course,
I think that's it. Yep, that's it.
Goodbye, my dear.
Crucible of the Soul. That. One per rest. Drains 10.9 burn damage as endurance. It's for accuracy versus fortitude. Unravels the vital essence of his or her enemies, gaining endurance in the process. Go seek Merwald. Okay, here we go. There.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
Sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
You know what you people do for fun around?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman?
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
You know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're gonna be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Or Bella decides he's a living incarnation of Eothas, overthrows Riadsaras, marches on Deerwood, so he gave him a Deerwoodian hello. What's that?
We blew him
We
up.
blew him up. Who's Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. How was your headman hanged? Not involved. Okay. What's your town have against you?
Picked the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Guild. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course.
Who's Kolsk? Someone got tired of all the hangings. He on the run now. Probably will be until they catch him. You're next. What are you still doing around here? Drinking, mostly. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Widewind's legacy started with Widewind. Travel together. We headed. Ednois?
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People with a man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that.
It's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Cool. Now we have another person in our party. Let's see what he's... What is... He is a... fighter. Okay. I can dig it. Oh, I have a diplomatic reputation. Gilded Vale likes me. Alright, what kind of weapons does he have? He has... saber. Medium shield. Warbow. Nice. And Saint's War armor. Alright. I never read this. I don't think you will ever see this, but you were right, Fulvano. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I have put myself out of reach of the beasts circling below, but I'm done for all the same. Do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I'll be a trapper of wolves. Alrighty, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take an actual break and make some tea. Still have to get through this dungeon here.
Nice and quiet.
Huh. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm going to go make some tea, so feel free to get up, stand up, stretch, do all those things, take care of yourself, get something to drink, get something to snack on, use some facilities, and we'll return in a few moments.